YouTube. Good morning, fellas. Ferocious Mgtow here. And I'm rolling. I am in Missouri, the Show Me State. Getting ready to cross over into West Memphis, Arkansas on my way to Texas. I gotta make a stop in Louisiana first, then I'm headed to Texas. So, and after Texas, I'm headed to Virginia. And then from Virginia to West Virginia, and then I don't know where I'm headed after that. So I got a nice little run. Because vacation is coming up and I'm gonna ball till I fall. But anyway, I said I was gonna come to you guys with a video this morning. I'm feeling good, feeling strong, feeling positive. You know what I mean? Life is good. And I want to talk about this picture that you all see in the thumbnail that Gabrielle Union dresses up in drag. Okay? And I'm sure a lot of people want to know why she's doing this, right? And I would say the reason why is because the male-hating hordes run the asylum, and if any cute chick comes on the scene, right, they're shunned, they're you go men in action. I love to see this, men in action. I got a female running the big machine there. But anyway, men in action, y'all. Guys getting paid to be on their phones. I love it. But anyway, I digress. Since the male-hating hordes are in charge of the asylum, they're basically on the attack for feminine women. So anything that's feminine, they on the attack. And so at a point, the feminine women realize that the men, the patriarchy, is basically non-existent. Right? And so they really see who's in charge, and so they start conforming their thought pattern, their behavior, and their actions to conform with the group, because women conform with the group. You know, they have the hive mind. They identify with the hive. Whatever the hive is doing, they're conformed to that. Where men, we're on the opposite end of the spectrum. We can strike out on our own and do what we feel to be proper and prim. Not so much for women. They depend on the social construct, and so they have to show their allegiance. They have to pay homage to the feminist hordes who have seized power. And that's basically what she's demonstrating by dressing up in drag. And rightfully so, because on top of that, she's at the wall. So all of them photo shoots and all of these magazine covers and all of these movie roles, all these, you know, short films, they finna dry up. And the only reason why she's still getting a little notoriety is because she's willing to prostrate herself and pay homage to the feminist hordes. Now, I noticed this same thing well before the term Mgtow was in existence, when I was just using the term bachelor. You know, because I'm in shape, because I'm tall, because I'm relatively handsome, because I'm not an idiot, I make good decisions, and I have 2 brain cells to rub together. all the women from my past, when they see me, they just can't believe the person I turned out to be. Because I always reinvent myself, taking a page from the 48 Laws of Power. You young guys and you international guys that don't know about the 48 Laws of Power, look it up by Robert Greene. You can get it on audio books, or you can listen to it in your car, right? I got it on my phone, and I listen to it just to keep sharp. But where was I going? Yeah, 48 Laws of Power, guys. So check that book out for you guys that don't know. But yeah, so now when I see these women, of course, all of a sudden, well, not really, they're interested in me. These were the same little ungrateful, thought they doo-doo didn't stink girls growing up. They was the it crowd. I was in the it crowd too, but I was on the fringes of it because I didn't have the wardrobe. I had the personality, and I got decent grades in school, and I was tall and I was athletic, but I didn't have the wardrobe. And of course, back then it was all about, you know, a fashion show. So because of that, I was in the it crowd, but I was on the fringes of it, like right on the border of it. So I didn't get to realize my true potential during those years because of the fact that I grew up poor. Now, if I had to grew up with money, things would have been totally different because I would have been the it guy. Okay? I would have been in all the popular, you know, social circles, and I would have had the best of the women at that time. Okay? But I'm glad I didn't, to a degree, because it gave me a chance to learn who I am as a person, what I'm about, what are my weaknesses, what are my strengths, what am I good at, what are my talents, okay? It taught me how to operate and be self-reliant and not depend on the group for nothing. So I had to get it out the mud on my own, which I'm grateful of, because I've carried it all the way up until today. And I don't need the group to tell me which way the wind is blowing today. And that brings me to a story. A couple stories, actually. Like I said, I was part of the it crowd in school, right? So I did get my share of the best girls, right? But I didn't get the ones that I wanted. I got the ones that wanted me. And they just happened to be in the it crowd too. But they wasn't the girls running the it crowd. The girls running the it crowd were the ones that I wanted and I couldn't get because of the reasons I stated earlier. So I took the second best, which was still great because they had beauty, brains, and body. Okay? Sorry about the interruption, guys. Phone got too hot or whatever. But I was saying the 3 B's: beauty, brains, and body. The killer bees. And what happened was the fact that I was able to get the second tier of women, and the ones I actually want, I couldn't get because of the reasons I stated earlier. So, the ones that I did want, I see now, and they're looking at me like, Ferocious Mgtow? be like, yes, I turn around, my eyes be all squinting. I'm like, do I know you? And they be like, yeah, you don't remember me? I'm like, no, not really. Help me remember. And then they tell me who they is, and I be like, God, dog. They literally ran into the wall 100 miles an hour. So the wall is our friend. The wall is our buddy. The wall is our salvation. The wall is our revenge. And we must embrace it at every turn. Because every day, another one of these strags is hitting the wall. So this is literally our salvation. Right? And so now these same women are fat, ugly, bald-headed, for putting all the glues and the weave and the wigs and the press and the perms and the this and the that, the color. So they bald-head, they're fat, skin is terrible because they don't drink water, right? They don't eat fruit or vegetables, mostly blood and starch diets, right? They dress for comfort, which means sweatpants, and they wear hats like dudes. So basically, the wall forces them to become, or the wall forces them to dress and drag permanently. And they hate that. So because they hate it, and it ain't nothing they can do because the wall is unbeatable, they have to double down on their BS and show contempt for men, because now they actually realize what we all about, which is what's a good thing? The best thing since sliced bread. Yeah, I said it. We're the best thing since sliced bread. And we have a invisible savior. We call it the wall, that reminds these strags that we the best thing since sliced bread. Just want that to sink in, fellas. So that's why this woman chose to dress up in drag, because she's paying homage to the folks who have taken over the insane asylum, and they're declaring war against anything feminine, against anything with beauty, anything with grace, tact, sensibilities, nurturing, any of that. It's a war going on within the greater war. That's why they do this. Because all of these women that I was telling you about that I grew up with, that I wanted and I couldn't get, when I do see them, they're not dressed like women. They're dressed like I'm dressed. Sweats, t-shirt, and sneakers. They don't wear dresses no more. They don't wear heels no more. They got bunions and corns. Feet hurt so bad they can't wear heels no more. And in dresses, they booties then dropped, so they look funny in dresses. You know they got bellies, You know they got the double chin. You know they bald head up under them hats and wigs and weave. And they ended up living mediocre or subpar lives because ain't none of these women turned out to be wealthy. They never leveled up. They only got with dudes that they can manipulate, and eventually them dudes got wise, dumped them, and they ended up in the street with nothing. Every last one of them look terrible now. And the one or two that I do know that's married, they look terrible because they hit the wall. And of course, even though they married, we never got a chance to, hide the banana. Now all of a sudden they want my number so we can play hide the banana. 35 years later, 40 years later, damn near. Of course I declined because I said to one of them, "Aren't you still married?" And she was like, "Yeah, but we do our own thing." Well, you can do your own thing somewhere else because I'm cool. And this one I was talking to, her husband is a sheriff out in one of the suburbs. And I'm like, well, police, he's a sheriff, he's some type of law enforcement. I ain't going nowhere near that. She just kept pushing for my number, so I gave her the wrong number. Did one of their little funky tactics. I gave her ass the wrong number. She fat, looked like she been through a war. So fellas, take a bow. Take a bow. We got an invisible friend who has our back. We call it the wall. So embrace it. Just know that you will get your sweet revenge. All you have to do is stay on your purpose, stay on your grind, keep getting up, going after it every day, stay in the gym, drink your water, eat your fruit, eat your vegetables, right? You guys eat meat, try to eat leaner meat and less of it, smaller portions. And live the best life that you can. And when you see these people, that's why I want to see them when they do the reunion. I'm gonna be there. Sure will. One of the guys called me or got my number at the barbershop, said that they plan to have a reunion once this stuff is all over with. Would I come? I'm saying, of course I would come, because I want to see all these post-wall BWs now. These same ones thought they was the it back then. I want to see them now. But okay, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. I'm about to run out of memory again. I need to figure out how to get more memory. I'll do that when I get back from this trip. But I'm gonna let you go, guys. So just thank your invisible friend, the wall, every day, because somebody's running 100 miles an hour right into it. Face first, body first. But I love you guys. Hope you guys are being safe. Hope you guys are being good stewards of your health. And as always, I wish you guys more money, more money, more money. And I'll try to bring you something either a little later tonight about the debates or tomorrow about the debates. Until then, peace and Hagrid.